Well, good evening. It is Your Voice, Your Vote 2022. Thank you for joining us on this midterm election night.
It is the culmination of months of campaigns, phone calls, political ads, the moment where voters get to weigh in on the direction of the country and the state of Iowa. Now, Local 5 has you covered. We are all over the metro, ready to bring you all the latest election updates throughout the night.
And we kick off tonight's coverage by taking a look at the Senate race between incumbent Republican Senator Chuck Grassley and Democratic challenger Mike Franken. Local 5's Khalil Maycock has been closely following Senator Grassley's campaign. Khalil, he is asking voters for an 8th term.
Yes, Stephanie, like you said, he is asking voters for that 8th term. And right now we are here in this Republican Party room. You know, they are still setting up. But if you take a look at your screen, you will see that we have some video of Senator Chuck Grassley. Now, he's the 89-year-old. And like you said, he's been a senator since 1980. Before that, previously serving in the Iowa House for 16 years in U.S. for 3 terms. Now, Grassley champions family farms, rural life, and he stands on fighting inflation, reducing the national debt, and stopping illegal immigration. Now, this summer, to hold true to his values, he introduced a bill called Keep Our Communities Safe Act. Now, that aims to stop immigration authorities from releasing illegal immigrants back into the U.S. if they have not been accepted for deportation to other countries after being detained for 6 months. Now, we're going to be here for the rest of the night, bringing you all the updates. So back to you, Stephanie.
All right, Khalil, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And meanwhile, Larissa Leone has also been following this race. We turn to her now for more details on Grassley's challenger, Retired Admiral Michael Franken. Larissa.
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie. As you just heard, longtime Senator Chuck Grassley is in the lead against challenger Democrat Mike Franken. So let's take a little deeper dive in who Democrat candidate Mike Franken is. Now, he's a veteran. He's served 36 years in the United States Navy, looking to use those strategy tactics to unseat Chuck Grassley and become Iowa's next U.S. Senator. Citing Grassley's 63 years in elected office must come to an end, saying his challenger is out of touch for the needs of Iowans, claiming his strong rural background gives him an edge. Franken has focused his campaign on health care reform by expanding Medicare and lowering the cost of prescription drugs. Now, he also prioritizes fighting for education. Franken plans to use his seat to advocate for accessible and legal abortion with the hopes to codify Roe v. Wade, holding night and day perspectives from his opponent. Stephanie?
Yeah, Larissa, and Mike Franken has had a couple of bumps in the road during his campaign.
Yeah, certainly, Stephanie. It's not been all smooth sailing, as a police report was identified where Franken's campaigner actually cited some misconduct between the two of them. Now, Des Moines Police Department did investigate, and they found the case as unfounded. And who knows whether this is going to affect the election for Franken tonight, but I guess we will just have to stay tuned and see.
All right, Larissa, thank you. We appreciate that. This is just one of the many races we will be updating you on throughout the night. You can watch Local 5 on air or keep up online at weareiowa.com.
I am joined by Republican consultant Craig Robinson and Democratic consultant Raj Smith. Both of you, thank you for being here with us tonight. We got a lot to unpack. Let's start with what you both believe Iowans are watching for tonight.
Well, I think what they're watching for tonight is they're dissatisfied with the economy and kind of the state of their pocketbook. Mm-hmm. And so what message are they sending to our elected officials across the state? I think that's what's going to drive people the most tonight, and that's probably what's driving turnout.
Roz, what's your take?
Well, I think the national races will get a lot of attention, and rightfully so, but my focus is really what's happening underneath the Golden Dome, where those decisions that are made that impact Iowa's day-to-day lives. And so for me, it's, will Democrats kind of hold the ground and stop the Republican surge of gaining seats in the House and the Senate? And I think that has a lot of impact on Iowa's day-to-day lives when it comes to a cost of living, public schools, and women's right to choose. And
what do you think issues are driving Iowans to the polls? You just named off a few, but there's a lot more at stake tonight.
Oh, definitely so. And I think right on the top of that list is women's right to choose in this state. I think as an Iowan, right, we've seen the back and forth in our legislature for a while, but on a national scale, I think this is going to have a lot of impact for our ability to attract talented to the state and retain those folks who are here.
Before we get to other issues, what's your take?
My take is again, economy is the #1 driving issue in this race or in this election tonight. But I also think there's races to watch, and I think the congressional races here in the 3rd district and in the 2nd district are things to keep an eye on. And then there's some key legislative races that I think are going to help us answer the question of what's going on in the makeup of the legislature.